Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Saddest Night Out. My name is Roy, and I am the host of this daily podcast, and it's primarily about music and creative culture in London. Just off the top, my next live show is Tuesday the 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop, free entry. It will be music from Izzy, Kin Soul, Rose White and Jack, and myself. This is Saddest Night Out Live number 3, Tuesday 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop on Old Street, free entry, doors open at 7:30. I would love to see some of you there. On the first of today's episodes, I am speaking to Pete Buckley. Pete is a fairly new addition to the UK open mic roster, ukopenmic.com to check out the open mics that I do, and facebook.com/saddest night out to find out more about that live show. Pete is a newcomer to the family, but he has not wasted any time in playing with us as much as he can. I think I've pretty much seen him at every other open mic night that I've done since that first time. And this was our first chance to catch up. We are talking on this episode just before I started last night's open mic at the Lyttelton Arms in Camden, and we are actually talking in his car because I got there early. As soon as I walked in, I could see him sat right there. And I put my guitar down and then thought, where's a quiet place that we could talk? And he said, well, my car's just parked down the road and it doesn't get more quiet than that. So this is me talking to Pete Buckley about how we came to perform at our open mics for the first time and what he's going to be up to in the near future. Enjoy this chat and I'll catch up with you more a bit afterwards. We are just outside the Lyttelton Arms. It's the quiet before the storm of the Wednesday open mic. And I'm here with someone who played one of our open mics for the first time, I think, 2 weeks ago. And I've seen them countless times since then. So I'm guessing they had a good time that first time. Will you kindly introduce yourself to the listeners?
Yeah, definitely a great time that first time. My name is Peter Buckley and I'm a singer-songwriter. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm from Cork in Southern Ireland.
So when did you come to London?
I came to London, I think it was March in 2018.
Was it work that brought you here?
Yeah, well, it was a bit of both. What happened was I actually was living in the UK for about 5 years, and I went back to Ireland for a engineering contract. And then I came back over because my partner was here. And when I came over, I started trying to get work and get myself going.
And have you been making music since living back in Ireland?
Been making it since about 2008 actually, yeah.
What made you start?
It's a bit of a funny story actually, because I just finished my Leaving Cert, which is like the A-levels equivalent over here, and I was just bored off in my head, I said I have to do something with myself, and I realised that my dad had a guitar up the attic that he basically never used. So I just decided to go up and try and learn it, but it wasn't one of these crazy stories. It literally was
extreme boredom is what led you to the guitar. Some of the greats have started that way, so why not? So no one else in the family was doing anything musical?
No, Mum and Dad always listened to a lot of music. It was one of the staples growing up. It was every single day, probably for about 4 or 5 hours, there was music in the house.
Wow.
But neither of them sing very well, and neither of them play an instrument, so it was quite... Yeah.
So it was a bit of a break from the norm for you to pick it up. Yeah. And was it straight away, as soon as you picked it up, yes, I want to stick with this, or did it take a while?
It was weird, because when I first started, I could get maybe a few chords, but they'd buzz, and after about 3 strokes of strumming, my fingers would really hurt.
Yeah.
And but there must have been some reward system going on where the pain was worth, there's a bit of sound I was getting.
Yeah, I guess you liked it. You knew you were getting better at it, so you suffered through the pain.
Yeah, that's it, man.
To keep at it. So since there was no real music influence from your parents, what music were you thinking of when you started playing?
I was listening to a lot of really heavy rock back then, Guns N' Roses one was massive for me. I don't know where they came from, to be honest, because my parents always listened to stuff kind of soft core kind of pop music,
Yeah.
and like kind of soft Irish songs, but there I was listening to like heavy like AC/DC,
The complete
like,
opposite of that sort of stuff.
And the parents were always like, "Would you turn it down in there?" Like,
Now, picking up an instrument, was it like the done thing where you were living? Was anyone else starting bands or anything like that, or were you a bit of an outlier?
It was a bit weird because there was always an opportunity when I was in school to pick up an instrument, but it was a bit reserved, and I never took up the opportunity to actually learn when I was in school. And I think there was some kind of a connection between me finishing school and picking up an instrument. Like it was when I finished my A levels, it was actually alright to start learning an instrument and be myself then.
Once the shackles of school were cast off, then you could kind of explore a little bit.
It was like literally the next day, I mean, I think there has to be something behind it.
I guess so. That's quite close. Yeah, there must be some connection.
Definitely.
So now you're here in London. You've been living here a while, and you first came to one of my open mics a couple of weeks ago. Had you been to any others before then? Had you been performing at all in London?
Not in London. It's a bit of a story really, because I stopped drinking about 2 years ago. But when I was drinking, I used to do the open mics up in a small town called Ulverston. That was way up north, in the Lake District. But I could only kind of get up in front of people after about 3 pints and feel at ease. But that's why it took me 2 years really, because I think it was kind of building myself up to not being under influence of any substances, like, and actually standing in front of a few people and singing, singing your soul out, which terrified me like for a long time. I remember the first performance I did for yourself, like about 10-12 days ago. I was trying to make a bar chord on the do it like an F chord, and my hand was shaking so badly that I couldn't bar properly. so that'll tell you,
So that was your first time on stage since before then?
Yeah.
How did it feel once you'd finished?
It felt really good actually, like, because it was like I can do this, like, and give me a license to kind of to start delving into like doing live gigs and stuff, because I absolutely love it. I've always loved music, since I picked up the guitar, and I always felt like it was eating away at me, like somewhere deep down within, that I wasn't doing it like properly. So I mean, by jumping into the water really head first, like into the icy cold water, it really, you're after opening me up to the whole world of music again, which is it's a big thing like for me,
Wow, I'm really grateful that you chose my night because you came to the night, you hadn't signed up, and it wasn't until towards the end that you thought, you know what, let me get up there, and I gave you the house guitar, and you did original songs as well, so it's tough enough just getting on the stage, but then to share your own music,
it's kind of leaves you open,
Definitely.
A bit of vulnerabilities, I suppose, but I absolutely loved it, man.
It seems, considering how many times I've seen you since, I'm guessing you've caught the bug.
Yeah.
So what's the roadmap for you now with music? Is it write more, perform more?
Yeah, it was a bit of a story, because I'm an engineer by profession, like control systems is what I do, but I'm tired of it, and I'm kind of tired of the environment that you have to work in as well. Which is normally industrial processes, like with a lot of noise, and it's not too comfortable. But I've wanted to retrain for about like 2-3 years, and basically I was thinking that to get back to where I am currently in engineering, in another profession, I'd have to push in about 6 to 8 years.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, if I have to put in 6 to 8 years in like another profession, why not leave it be music? Because I'm pretty sure that within 6 to 8 years I could get a decent enough money coming in that I could do that.
Definitely,
for a living,
So the plan now is it's a bit like when you left school and picked up the guitar. Now you're looking to do something similar and
big time,
commit to it.
Totally.
So to start with, is there anywhere online that you exist so people can kind of start checking out what you're doing?
Yeah, really early days for me yet, but my name online is Pete Buckley. So Pete Buckley with a space in the middle, and I'm on the Star Now website, which is super useful to anyone out there that's looking for like a live gig, because there's a lot of pubs and bars and venues and stuff looking for musicians that advertise on that website. Also, there's one, it's called I think it's Live and Loud, and also Spotify. I think that's it, for the moment.
So Pete Buckley.
Pete Buckley, yeah.
And was it Star Now and Live and Loud?
Now, yeah. Yeah.
And so do you have music on Spotify then?
I've got one song up there at the moment. Yeah,
Okay.
I literally only started yesterday. Like, so.
Congrats, hey!
Thanks very much.
I haven't got anything on there yet, so you're doing better than me. So that's
It's
fantastic.
a bit scary as well because you're kind of exposing yourself to the whole world. Then, you know.
Yeah, no matter what stage, be it real or digital, there's always that moment of fear of just putting yourself out there.
Yeah, big time.
But
yeah.
I've seen you come. It's only been like 12 days or so,
Yeah.
but you've already come leaps and bounds,
Oh,
and
I
it's a
love
joy
that.
to see you at every one of my open mics.
Thanks
So
very much, mate.
here's to another great night tonight.
Thank
And
you.
we'll keep in touch and see how things are going as you embark on this new career of yours.
Definitely. Thanks very much, man. Really
Thanks,
appreciate
Pete.
it.
No, my
Cheers.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, let's get to it. And that was that. Thank you very much, Pete, for letting me use your car to interview you. Thank you for letting me interview you. Thank you for playing last night. And like I said, he's really hitting the ground running. He's not wasting any time in getting out there as much as he can. He's the first person to mention that website, Star Now, to me. And was it Live and Loud that he said, the second one as well? He's really going for it. He's grabbing the ball by both horns, and that's the last metaphor I'm going to use for this episode. But thank you very much, Pete, for talking to me. And I love how enthusiastic he is. It's almost as if he's been given a new lease on life. You can see the glow. It's palpable when he walks in the room, when he steps on stage, that he is relishing every opportunity he gets to take the stage. And that's exactly what I want for my performers. There's nothing better than seeing a newcomer break that new ground for the first time and find their legs on stage, and then continue to return and only get better and more confident with each performance. And that's exactly what Pete has done. And I look forward to seeing many more performances with him at our open mic nights. Just once again, before I sign off, my next live show is Tuesday the 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop. It's free entry, and it will be Izzy, Kinsole and Rose White and Jack performing, as well as myself, Tuesday 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop on Old Street, free entry. It'd be lovely to see some of you at that show. I will put links to where you can find Pete Buckley on the websites that he mentioned. And I have 2 more episodes to post up for today. So I will see you right now, I will see you again very shortly because I'm about to record the intro to the next episode. But in the grand scheme of things, I will catch you on the next one. Thank you very much for listening, and take care.